Alright, and here is the video review for KM-01 from Mastermind Creations, the Knight Morpher Commander. Going back in time and getting this guy reviewed. Anyway, I'm a little off tonight. I'll get right off the bat. I sound a little off tonight because my wife apparently used some wild parsnips in Niblet's birthday cake yesterday and completely forgot I was allergic to them. So I've got a little bit of that. Those boys are evil, E-V-I-L-B-O-Y-S going on tonight, so just bear with me. But yeah, Knight Morpher 01, it is the first of the Hearts of Steel molds out that Mastermind Creations put out. The first one had some issues. This is the revised second version where they fixed a lot of those, just by way of disclaimer. And apparently, and I remember when this figure was like a garage kit, if I recall correctly. It was somebody was offering like just a handful of these. He was making out of resin, I think, and then ended up pairing up with Mastermind Creations and did a full release of the figure and cast very well. But anyway, the box itself, as you can see here, it's very plain. There's the head, the Knight Morpher Commander, but there's not a whole lot of other. Not even like Cyclops, who had some pictures and stuff on the box. It's just a plain black box with the logos on the various sides. Inside the box, you get the Knight Morpher Commander figure himself, which is the Hearts of Steel Optimus design. Here is the train, as well as you get two pieces of track that can hook together. And if you buy, there's a couple other different colors of the Knight Morpher Commander. There's the Annihilator, or Knight Morpher Annihilator, which is a black and gold kind of Nemesis paint job on this figure. And there's the Knight Morpher X, I believe it is, KMX, which was a shattered glass. It was like a purple, a shattered glass colored figure with like a clearish purple trailer. Knocked off his steam engine stack there. No, anyway. But they all come with two little pieces of track that can snap together. And again, if you buy the other various colors as well, and I might be picking up Annihilator here sometime this week, you can add more tracks together. But you can snap the tracks together, and the wheels here underneath Knight Morpher do fit in the track semi-decently. And you can have them roll along and display the train on some train track there. And that's about all there is to the train track. It's just there as a neat little, you see there's the grooves on it. Just a neat little accessory to the train itself. I guess if you bought enough of them, you could make a really long track. They haven't released any curved pieces, so you might have to custom your own curved pieces if you wanted to make like a loop or something. But they do come with a couple pieces of track just for display purposes, and they do just snap right back apart when you're done. Excuse me. So yeah, on to Knight Morpher Commander himself. Much like the original Optimus Prime, you've got the cab and the trailer here, and you can just pop that right apart. The boiler section comes off, and is going to be our Optimus or our Commander, and then the trailer back here is going to offer some additional abilities later on. But we'll focus on Commander himself right off the bat. To transform him, these you can see they've already kind of pushed in, but these front wheels collapse in against what will be the thigh. I'm going to go ahead and take the cow catcher and just kind of split it down like this. You can pull the legs down like this and extend them. You want to make sure they come all the way out. They don't click, but they definitely, you can tell like when they're all the way up. And you come back here, you want to lift these pieces up. I'm going to bring the foot guards forward, and then bring the feet themselves forward. Then these just kind of flip down back like that. Split the legs apart. The feet are on hinges this way and a swivel this way, so you can get some decent posability out. And this pops off the smokestack right here. As you can see, it's plugged in, pops right off. You fold it up, and then you come under here and flip this piece out, and it forms a rifle, just like that. Then up here, you want to lift this piece right here up, split the boiler like this, and then you want to slide it forward. You want to slide it forward here until it clicks. Hear that click right there. Right there, that holds the shoulder in place in a robot mode. And then you kind of want to take it right here, push it back a little bit to get it off. There's a little tab up here it tabs onto. Push it out like this. There we go. There's this little tab right here. You want to make sure you get it off of that before you bring it down. Then you bring it down and rotate it out, and there's the fist. And again here, Get it off of that hinge, that tab, bring it, and there are the arms like that. Come up here to the top. Now he's not as dark a red as the camera, at least from sitting behind the camera, is making it look, but it is a darker red and blue than I initially thought, which is good. I like it. It's a really nice red, but just to let you know, it is a little darker than standard, what I consider standard Prime red. Angle those up, and then you just open the chest piece here, just flip it down, and inside you can see there's a little Commander's power thing that you can pull out. You can pop out, you know, a little homage there. And just plug it right back in. And then you just flip his head out. Yep. And there he is. And there's Night Morpher Commander in robot mode. Now he's got a ball jointed neck, aside from the fact that this is on a hinge, so he can look up or down a little bit. Full range of movement in the head. And then there is this little visor here. Let me see if I can zoom in here, get up on his face. It comes separate in the package, but it just clips right onto his head here. Come here, you. Get some more light in there. That way. He's got this little visor right here that sits up on top of his forehead. It's a shame it's not really showing up because, yeah, you can kind of see he's got some really cool light piping there on his eyes. But if you want to have him be like kind of jousting, like a knight's helmet, you can flip that visor down over his eyes, flip him up. And also, if you want, like I said, this comes separate in the package. You don't have to put it on. If you prefer more of a standard-looking Optimus head, you can take that visor off and just have Optimus himself without the visor. So it's really up to you on how you want to do that. I generally leave it on here for the most part, just because there's no place else to store it reliably. So that way I just don't lose it. But yeah. So we'll get that back together. And again, he can hold his weapon just like this. Now onto the trailer. Now you bring it over here, we'll open this up. The trailer opens up just like that. This little front piece pops out and unfolds to become a shield, which can peg right onto the side of Commander's arm, which is kind of cool. Now this cannon here, you see this flap right now currently is folded down on his back. Now the cannon here, one, it can, if you want to have him stand like this, the cannon can actually slide back and lift up and rotate around, so you can have him kind of manning this as a base with the ramp here. Just to give that off. So you can have the cannon there. The cannon itself also, you can have a shorter cannon back here by pulling this completely off. And then if you pull out the bottom peg here, let's see if I can get it. It actually helps if you come up here, push it out. You can pull out the center and the tip of the cannon here, combine them together, and then pull this in the middle. And now he's got a lance, which again he can hold in his hand. If you want to take the gun off, plug the gun in over here on his arm, he can hold the lance. And then again, now you see kind of why there's the one, it's called Night Morpher, and two, why there's kind of the knight-ish visor there on his head, because he does have the lance and the shield, much like a medieval knight. So there's some weapons there. And then you do have the short cannon. You can, if you choose, take these pieces, reattach them, and still have like a longer cannon here on the trailer. However, if you're cool with the shorter cannon here, and you can plug something else in there, you can plug, if you want, you can kind of, I was hoping maybe there'd be a way to like fold this up so this plugged in and fired out, but or like this, but it doesn't really attach right there. There's a peg hole down here for something, but I don't know how to get that. Oh, that's for the sword. The Annihilator mold comes with a sword that can stores, and the handle pegs right in there. Night Morpher Commander by himself does not come with the sword. You can kind of fit this peg in here, but it's not enough to hold it. I was thinking maybe you could combine it into a cannon here, but it's just not working. You can plug this gun into the top of the cannon if you want a little bit more firepower in the trailer, and if you want him to have the lance and the sword and the shield, but not the gun. However, you can take these two cannon pieces like this, and you'll see they've got these interesting little cuts in them, because you can come back here And the first time I did this, I left this down, and you can peg these on to the back as a jetpack. Peg around to those cuts, and there you go. You got a jetpack. And then I started thinking, you know what? That just looks a little weird. They're like the tops up here aren't consistent, and all that. And so then I started messing with it, and I realized just how much thought goes into this thing. Because not only is this the flap for the boiler, it can fold down when you're not using it. It can fold right down to his back, stay unobtrusive. But you lift it up, and one, it will cover in robot mode. It will end up covering these weird, what's the word I'm looking for? Different covers. That kind of look bad from the top if they're not covered. But not only do they make it so it could cover that, there's also even like a couple of little peg holes drilled out in here to snap right over the little pegs that hold it together in cannon mode, which is just a nice little touch. And you just got to line those up right. And then that's how you know you've got it all lined up properly. Is you plug this in like this, and if you can fold it so it snaps into those pegs, just like that, it integrates the jetpack thrusters much more nicely into the robot mode. Covers up the disparate holes up on top, and just makes it look a whole lot nicer. So just a really neat little feature. You don't have to use the jetpack. I generally just stick it on him because I think it looks cool. It gives him a little bit more bulk. Excuse me. But yeah, so there's Night Morpher, Commander with his trail. Let me back this up, see if I can get as much of this as I can in the shot. So yeah, there he is. Very cool. I'm glad I got him. Like when I first, I passed on him for a long time because while it looked like a decent first effort from a company that at the time I hadn't heard of, it still looked like a first effort, and I thought it was a little blocky and simplistic. And now that I have it in hand, like you can definitely see an evolution of design from him into Cyclops into the Airborne Squad, but this is still a really great figure. Like I'm really much more impressed with it in hand than even I expected to be. Even after people had told me, "Hey, it's really good," and so I got my expectations up, and it's still even better having it physically in person. And I definitely wanted to have it now that I'm getting like the Awakening, the Airborne Squad, and the Cyclops. You gotta have Optimus Prime. So I picked him up on a whim and did not disappoint. Now, speaking of the other Night Morpher figures in the line, I've got them all here with me, so we'll do a quick little size comparison here. So there's Commander. Here he is next to Airborne Squad. So you can see he's a little bit taller than Starscream or Airborne Squad, whatever. His head comes up to about his chest, which seems about right to me. I think they look really good together, and I can't wait to get the colored version of Airborne Squad here because I think it's really going to pop even more than the gray proto look here. And then, of course, like you saw in the review with Airborne Squad when I did the size comparison, Cyclops is much larger, at least in his other mode, and we'll have to actually just back up here to show that off. Again, it fits. I like Shockwave being so huge, but yeah, there's a definite size difference between Commander and Awakening and Cyclops. And then just because I like this little guy, here he is. Here's the little mini version of Cyclops, the true Cyclops technically, as it so happens. But there he is in front of Commander there. So as of right there, it's not every single color or version of these molds, but those are the three main molds. I guess four if you count the mini sub, but there so far are all the characters we have gotten from Night Morphers, from the Night Morpher line from Mastermind Creations. I'm looking forward to see what else comes out. I think they've got the I know next up for the Night Morpher series again is the colored versions of Airborne Squad. There's Terminus Hexatron, who is not, as far as I know, a Night Morpher line. I don't know if they're keeping that if Night Morpher is going to be their line, or if it's just solely for Hearts of Steel figures. But as far as I know, the Terminus Hexatron, which is the 6-shot homage, is not part of the Night Morpher line. It's just going to be Terminus Hexatron. So we got them. I know at one point they were working on the Insecticon train, and I think that's still a project that is on the back burner, but could be coming in anytime soon. I would love to see them do a Bumblebee. I would absolutely love to see them do Bumblebee's little steam driver form. But we didn't see a whole lot of characters in that. Like, we saw Scourge as a blimp, but I don't know if I really want a blimp. It would be cool, but I feel like you'd have to make the blimp part inflatable, and I don't know, we'll see. But these three guys are all very, very awesome. I just can't recommend these guys enough. They're fun, they're neat, and just interesting takes on the characters that you're just not going to find in a retail line. You know, like with classics, there was always the shot that like, oh, we don't have a good hound, but oh, they eventually ended up making one. You're like, we haven't gotten a good, Trailbreaker yet. We need Trailbreaker to complete the original cast, and we haven't gotten one yet. And then some third parties, I don't know if some third parties tried to make an attempt on him. There probably will be. But there's always that possibility that somewhere down the line, Hasbro will make a Trailbreaker or Trail Cutter, as they're calling him now. But very unlikely that they're ever going to go back and revisit the Hearts of Steel universe. And so this is really the way to get them. And honestly, with the job that Mastermind is doing on these things, like, I can't not recommend them. Especially, like I said, this guy, the Awakening, that mold is just superb. Like, when you first get it, you want to be all careful with it because you think it's going to be fragile, and it's actually far more sturdy and a much more interesting transformation than it initially looks, and it's a lot of fun. And it's not like, Cyclops definitely had some parts where you need to be careful. Not so with him. You want to be careful, the first time through, just learning everything, but he's quite tough and a lot of fun, very elegantly designed figure. So anyway, that's my rant over. Like, if you haven't checked out some of their Night Morpher creations, check one. You'll pick one up. Pick up whether it's him or him or him. Pick one up and check them out, because there's some really neat stuff going on with these guys, and I think they definitely deserve to get some more, a bigger fan base, because there's a lot of really neat stuff coming out from it. But anyway, I know a lot of people are eyeing that Terminus Hexatron figure, and I can't say I blame you. It's huge and it's awesome. I can't wait for it either. But yeah, I definitely pick your favorite Seeker and check out the Airborne Squad version of it, whether it's Thundercracker, Skywarp, or Starscream. Check one of those out, because I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. But anyway, that's my overall rant. But that's a review for Night Morpher Commander. Like I said, I'm really digging it. So, well, have a good night. Quick little addendum that I completely forgot about while going on about this. Underneath the train, there's a little trailer hitch here. You can flip it out like this. And again, if you have more than one Night Morpher Commander or one of the other versions, you can flip it around like this, and like if one has the peg out and one has the hitch down, you can connect other trailers back to back with each other. So just so you know, there's that back here. Also underneath here are two fists. I'm just going to pop one out here that you can interchange with the fist already on the figure. The fists just pop right out, and you can pop this one in. And basically what this is it's set up a little bit. You can see it's instead of being a straight fist, it's angled. It fits in more at an angle. So if you have them holding like a sword or the lance, it holds it at a little bit more of a dynamic angle to the arm, so you can get that angled look here. As opposed to, again, if we had the regular fist in, it would be pointing straight up and down, perpendicular to the arm. Just like this, you put it in the regular hand and plug that in. You can see there's the angle it sits at from the hand. And with the sword or the lance, especially, like I said, especially true with the Annihilator, plugging it in like that gives it a different angle to come out of the arm with. So there's two fists, one for each side underneath the train. There's also this little piece that, if anybody knows what this does, tell me. It's under there. I didn't see it in the instructions. It's just this little, I guess if maybe he's Prime is Sherlock Holmes. He's going to go looking for clues. I spy with my little eye somebody with a birthday today. I don't know. Yeah, there's this little ring that, like I said, I didn't see listed anywhere in the instructions, and I have no freaking clue where it goes. But it was just pegged up under here. There's 6 peg holes. Again, only 3 of them are used with this and the 2 fists here underneath it. So, again, my apologies for skipping that the first time. I tried to remember, and I even reminded myself before I started shooting the review, and then I just completely forgot. So, anyway, I won't make this any longer than it should be. There's the fists and the weirdy thing. Just an addendum to the end.